What if I told you there's a private jet where the bedroom is bigger than most hotel suites? Not just any bedroom. We're talking a full master suite at 40,000 feet with a bathroom that rivals five-star spas. This is the Celestia One, and it's not your typical private jet. We're talking about a flying residence where every square foot is designed like a penthouse, not a plane. Here's what makes this different. While other jets are trying to fit as much as possible into a metal tube, the Celestia One was designed from the ground up with one question. What if we stopped thinking like aircraft designers and started thinking like architects? The result? A 95-foot cabin that feels more like walking through a luxury yacht than boarding an aircraft. I'm taking you inside every section of this jet. The main cabin that redefines what's possible in aviation design. The master suite that shouldn't even be able to exist on a plane. And the technology that makes all of this actually fly. Let's begin exploring its interior. Let's start with the main cabin, because this is where most of your time gets spent. The first thing you notice? Space. The cabin is 8 feet wide and stretches 42 feet long. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the size of a decent New York City apartment. The flooring isn't carpet, it's hand-laid oak hardwood, the same type you'd find in a $20 million penthouse. They chose oak because it's durable, but also has this warm, natural look that immediately makes the space feel less like a plane and more like home. Now, the seating. There are 6 primary seats in the main cabin, and each one is upholstered in full-grain Italian leather. Not the processed stuff, full grain, which means it gets better with age. These aren't just recliners either. Each seat has 18-way adjustability, built-in massage functions, and they swivel 360 degrees so you can face whoever you're talking to. The windows are bigger than standard, about 30% larger. That matters because at cruising altitude, you're above the weather. The views are unobstructed. Sunrise over the Atlantic, the northern lights, mountain ranges. You get the full picture. Lighting is controlled through a central system that adjusts based on time of day and flight phase. During takeoff, it's bright and energizing. Mid-flight, it shifts to warmer tones. If you want to sleep, it dims completely. It's automatic, but you can override it anytime through a tablet. Here's what's interesting. The main cabin converts. During the day, it's a lounge. You got a conference table that rises from the floor, solid walnut. Seats 8 people comfortably. You can take meetings, work, whatever you need. But when it's time to eat, that same table transforms into a dining setup. White tablecloth service, real silverware, the whole experience. The galley sits toward the front. It's not just a microwave and mini fridge situation. We're talking a full prep kitchen, convection oven, and enough counter space for an actual chef to work. Because on flights that last 12, 14, 16 hours, food matters. One more detail, the walls. They're paneled in book-matched walnut veneer. Book-matched means they took one piece of wood, sliced it, and opened it like a book so the grain mirrors perfectly on both sides. It's a small thing, but it's the kind of detail that separates good design from great design. Now, the master suite. This is where the Celestia One really stand apart. Most private jets have a bedroom. That's basically a seat that reclines flat. The Celestia One has an actual bedroom, a separate, enclosed room at the rear of the aircraft with a queen-size bed. Not a narrow bench. A real bed with a memory foam mattress, high-thread count linens, and 4 pillows. The room is soundproofed. Double wall construction with acoustic insulation, so even at cruising speed, it's quiet. You can actually sleep without engine noise. The bed has a built-in climate control system. You set your ideal temperature, and it adjusts the mattress surface independently from the cabin. The windows are the real show. They use electrochromic glass, smart glass that darkens on command. One button press, and they go from clear to fully opaque in about 8 seconds. Privacy without pulling shades. Now, the bathroom. This isn't a tiny closet with a vacuum toilet. It's a 6 by 6 foot spa bathroom. There's a full rain shower with adjustable water pressure, heated floors, and a marble vanity with double sinks. The mirror has integrated lighting and a defogger, so it stays clear even after a hot shower. Storage is built into the walls. Enough closet space for a week's worth of clothes, plus drawers for accessories and a safe for valuables. Here's the thing. Most jets treat the bedroom as an afterthought. The Celestia One designed the entire rear section around it. This isn't just a place to sleep between destinations. It's a private retreat. You can actually rest, recharge, and arrive ready instead of exhausted. That's the interior. A main cabin built for living and working at altitude, and a master suite that redefines what's possible on a private aircraft. Next, let's talk about what this thing looks like from the outside. Because let's be honest, a jet like this needs to look as good on the tarmac as it does in the air. The Celestia One is 95 feet long with a wingspan of 86 feet. For reference, that's about the size of a mid-range commercial aircraft, but this carries maybe 12 passengers max. All that space goes toward comfort, not capacity. The fuselage has this sculpted, flowing design. Most jets look boxy, straight lines, sharp angles. The Celestia One was designed with curves. The nose slopes gradually. The body tapers smoothly toward the tail. It's aerodynamic, yes, but it also just looks fast sitting still. It is inspired from luxury yachts. You see in the way the windows are positioned, long, unbroken lines that wrap around the fuselage instead of small porthole-style cutouts. It gives the jet this sleek, unified appearance. Now, the paint. This isn't a standard aviation finish. We're talking custom, hand-applied layers with a depth you don't normally see on aircraft. Think Rolls-Royce level craftsmanship. The base is a deep midnight blue, but depending on the light, it shifts, sometimes closer to black, sometimes with subtle metallic flecks. It's a finish that takes weeks to apply properly, but the result is worth it. The wings are where engineering meets aesthetics. They're raked back at a 35-degree angle, aggressive but functional. The shape reduces drag and improves fuel efficiency, but also gives the jet this forward-leaning, ready-to-fly stance. Even parked, it looks dynamic. The winglets at the tips aren't just flat extensions. They're curved and sculpted to manage airflow during flight, but they also add to the overall design language. Everything flows together. Landing gear is another detail most people overlook. The Celestia One uses a reinforced retractable system with multi-wheel bogies for stability. When extended, the gear is robust and confidence-inspiring. When retracted, it disappears completely into the fuselage. No bulges, no disruption to the clean lines. And then there's just the overall presence. When a Celestia One rolls onto the tarmac, it commands attention. Not because it's loud or flashy, but because it's different. It doesn't look like every other private jet out there. Form and function. That's what this exterior is about. It's built to perform at the highest level, but it's also designed to be beautiful. All right, let's get into the tech. Because luxury is one thing, but if the jet can't perform, none of it matters. Starting with noise. The Celestia One uses active noise cancellation throughout the entire cabin. It works similar to high-end headphones. Microphones detect engine noise, and the system generates inverse sound waves to cancel it out. The result? At cruising altitude, the cabin registers around 45 decibels. That's quieter than most libraries. You can have a normal conversation without raising your voice. Flight management is handled by an AI-powered system that monitors weather, air traffic, and fuel consumption in real time. It suggests optimal altitudes and routes to avoid turbulence and save fuel. Pilots still make the final calls, but they're working with better information than most aircraft have access to. Connectivity is full satellite-based. We're talking global high-speed internet that works anywhere, over oceans, polar regions, remote areas. Speeds are comparable to what you get at home. Stream, video call, work, it's all seamless. No dead zones. Air quality is hospital grade. The filtration system uses HEPA filters that remove 99.97% of airborne particles. That includes dust, allergens, bacteria, and viruses. The cabin air gets completely refreshed every 2 to 3 minutes. You're breathing clean air the entire flight. Fuel efficiency comes from a combination of engine technology and aerodynamics. The engines are modern turbofans with optimized fuel burn rates. Combined with the sculpted fuselage and wing design, the Celestia One uses about 15% less fuel than comparable jets. That translates to longer range and lower operating costs. Speaking of range, this jet can fly 7,500 nautical miles nonstop. That's New York to Dubai, Los Angeles to London, Tokyo to Los Angeles. Most long-haul routes covered without refueling. Cruising speed sits at Mach 0.85, which is about 560 miles per hour. Fast enough to get you there quickly, efficient enough to do it without burning excessive fuel. Safety systems include redundant flight controls, advanced weather radar, terrain awareness, and collision avoidance technology. Everything is backed up. If one system fails, another takes over automatically. Cabin controls are centralized through a smart system. Lighting, temperature, window tint, it's all controlled via tablet or voice command. You don't need to get up or hunt for switches. Just ask and it adjusts. That's the tech. It's built to perform at the highest level while keeping you comfortable, connected, and safe. So that's the Celestia One. A 95-foot aircraft with a main cabin that feels like a penthouse, a master suite that rivals luxury hotels, an exterior that turns heads on every tarmac, and technology that keeps you connected, comfortable, and safe anywhere in the world. This is what happens when you stop designing jets like aircraft and start designing them like living spaces. When every detail, from the book-matched walnut to the smart glass windows, is intentional. When luxury isn't just about looking expensive, it's about actually working better. The Celestia One doesn't exist yet. It's a concept, but it represents where private aviation is heading. Bigger cabins, smarter systems, better design. The future isn't about cramming more seats into smaller spaces. It's about creating environments where you actually want to spend time. And if you want to see more jets like this, concepts that push the boundaries of what's possible in luxury aviation, hit that subscribe button. This is FluxFly Jets, and we're building a collection of the most incredible private jet designs you won't really think about. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.